Oh ho ho, it is I, Tony on the internet, and I feel like playing through my catalog of video games and gawking at how clever I am. We've got a decent number of them from a few years back, but I think I'll start with my most recent one to kind of just open on my current prowess and go backwards from there, and maybe see how slightly less clever I was. This game of progression. Uh, what's the best zoom? Well, that one, obviously. That is like... That makes the graphics look as normal as they should. But I kind of like the crap factor of it being a little zoomed in. So yeah, this is Squid and Destroy. The most recent game I've made. And it is the most polished and smartest one, I think. I don't think it's my favorite I've made, but it's definitely up there as something I'm really damn proud of. You ever play Battleship from The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker? Or something like that? Everything I make is derivative of something else, because my excuse is all art is derivative, and it's okay if I rip things off, right? I don't know, I just wanted to make a Battleship game, because, I like games about squares and shit. It's very easy to control that kind of puzzly grid game kind of thing, so I just keep making games with that kind of setup. Haven't made too many action games. I'm kind of okay with that. I like me some logic puzzlers. So yeah, Battleship. You're given these patterns of dice, and you've got to shoot the grid. You've got to survey the grid and find out where the guys are hiding with the weird moves you're given. See, I have this 2 right now. There's totally a guy down here, so I'm just going to shoot a shot. Oh no, I was wrong. Yeah, there's like a vertical or horizontal guy hidden somewhere. Yeah, there they are. And now I have to use my impractical, like, patterns of attack to make it work. And if you attack the same squares more than once, you are punished for it. Make your attacks matter.
That's it.
I think it is pretty good.
No, sir.
Very good. It's fucking... it feels good. Like, when you hit the things, you get a good sound effect and everything. It was pretty close. I almost released the game without this sound effect playing when you killed a ship.
Only 2 more.
I can't, like, the game would have fucking been like a 3.5 or a 3 out of 5 instead of a 4 out of 5 in my brain if it didn't have that. Because that's just like the icing on the cake. It's also the first game where I have like a... I mean, the game that came out before this had like a hard mode you could play, but I think I fucked up with that one because it didn't look visually distinct enough. It didn't have new music. It had new gameplay, but I've learned, or realized that, me as the game player, I've played games where like, I don't like interacting with a thing if it feels cheap or if the developers... It didn't seem like they'd put a lot of time into it. Like, why should I put time into it if they didn't? So when I'm making a thing, going forward, I really want to give it my gaming all and, like, make everything seem like it's worth interacting with. Because, fucking, if I'm half-assing it, like, who's gonna play it? Hey. Yeah, this game has, like, voice acting and shit. Like, it's kinda killer, but honestly, I'm kind of sick of looking at it, because
Do your thing.
I gotta breathe. Talking too much. I love talking. But yeah, I spent fucking way too long making this game. I was like obsessing over all the little details, and I probably could have like cranked it out faster. I don't know what took me so long. Like, at least I kept my quota where I've made like 2 games every year. I made this game, I like shat it out at like the beginning of the year, January. And this one took me like, yeah, fucking November, months later. What am I gonna do next year? I don't know, I've got some ideas. but yeah, I don't think I'll be making a game that looks like this anytime soon in the future. Cause, this artwork, it's beautiful. But it took too long to like get it all in place. And whenever I needed changes and whatnot, it's just too detailed. Also, I think games that look like this don't run as good on HTML browser setups. It's easier to run a game and make a game if it looks like some dinky pixel shit where everything's a little smaller and, easier to stretch. So, yeah, Squid and Destroy. Brilliant game. One of my best. Would not make it again. That's a lie. Fucking... I would make it again. Hopefully quicker next time. Let's go back in time and play Boomboard. Yeah, this was like the game of my destiny. The game where like I first hunkered down and like actually shat out a game. Because like before this, I would like never release anything. I was stuck in my idea guy headspace where, I didn't want to like make myself release anything until it was like worthy of being done, or like I wanted to make something big, like some big adventure game or some shit. But like eventually I just like joined a game jam and fucking, what place did this get? 20? Out of what? 93 entries? I got number 20 on here? That's pretty good, right? Like for the first page, like hell yeah, dude. That's what I like to see. All my games get front page on Newgrounds these days, I like to think, because, I put my whole gaming ass in it, and of course they're gonna get recognized. If you make something good, people are gonna recognize, hopefully. So here's Boomboard. It's Minesweeper. You ever play Voltorb Flip from fucking Pokemon? I didn't. I've never played Voltorb Flip in the actual Pokemon game it's from. I've looked at Voltorb Flip and thought, hey, I can make that. And, thinking about Voltorb Flip, the little Minesweeper clone that was in those Pokemon DS games, I think I took out a few things I didn't understand, like the coin system and shit like that. I don't know. But, yeah. I'm a bit of a fraud. That's a crazy reveal, right? I'm like ripping off a game without even playing it. I don't even know what to say to that. That's just how it happened. So yeah, my version of the game. You click the squares and you have to use deduction. See, there's a 1 here, so you can deduce this one or that one are the bomb. Therefore, these ones can't be the bombs. And you just keep going from there. You don't use diagonals. Like, this could be a bomb. Yeah. Which is confusing, because it says the numbers reveal how many bombs a space is touching. I think the wording originally was how many bombs are adjacent to a space, but I was unsure about the meaning of the word adjacent, because a couple games use it differently. I played Fire Emblem games where, like, they say, like, a tile adjacent to you. They only mean up, down, left, and right. Because diagonals are technically 2 tiles away, because you have to go up and then left or something like that. So, yeah, touching, that wording doesn't work either, because technically, this space right now is touching this one, just, diagonally. It's confusing. I think I came up with better wording for that in, like, the successor to this game, because, fucking spoilers, I'm a hack, and I just keep making the same games over and over again. Boomboard came out 2018. That's like 8 years ago. I remember I was in like a university class. I didn't have a name for this game, but like I was making it for the game jam. How long did I have to make the game? I did this in a week? Damn, I could never do that. Like I never want to make game jam games anymore, because I'm in a new mental minefield, mental jail, where I don't want to make things that are, like, potentially this rough anymore. I want to polish and polish and polish and spend, like, 9 months making Squid and Destroy. Fucking, I'll figure it out. But yeah, Boomboard came out 2018. Eventually, I made it again, but, like, better in every way. 2022, that's 4 years later, that's reasonable. I think it was the first game I put onto Newgrounds. Yeah, because one of my friends randomly made me aware that Newgrounds didn't just take Flash anymore. You could put HTML stuff on there, which was like, whoa, really? Although, wait, I put it on Oh, I put it on itch first, and I must have been like dissatisfied. Like not many people played it, and then I found out about Newgrounds, and it seemed like people actually played it, and I was like, whoa. But I think looking at the numbers on itch, Boomboard is my most played game here. Yeah. But I think in general, people barely play my stuff here. Yeah, like 2,000, that's okay. All my other games kind of stink, so like I get people not playing them. But yeah, in general, the average, I think I get better numbers on Newgrounds. But anyway, here's Bombograms. It's called that because a nonogram is what Voltorb Flip is. It's like the name of the puzzle, some Sudoku variant shit. And yeah, here it is. Whoa, whoa, like, whoa. Awesome Windows XP aesthetic, brother. I grew up on that shit and it's stuck in my brain forever. This game has like a hard mode too. I think this one is like better than the hard mode in... Okay, maybe it's just the game that came out before Squid and Destroy that had kind of a lousy hard mode. Because I think this one... Yeah, the music is slightly different. No unique background, no. At least the guy has shades. Ew! I hate this tutorial. I would not make this again. I would edit it, but I don't care enough to do it. Like, it works, but like, no one's actually gonna read it. Because there's just information overload. And if you're like playing a random game on the internet, you're not gonna like presumably devote too much mental power into it. So if it's just giving you a bunch of text, you're just gonna be like, whoa, buddy, I'm not invested in this yet. Like, I don't care. And they're just gonna skip through it anyway. I think Squid and Destroy had a really good tutorial where I tell you the absolute necessities, like you click around with dice patterns, you will be punished if you shoot stupidly. Figure out the rest. Because you will figure out the rest. I don't need to tell you. You know, the game is simple enough, or I've made the game understandable enough to where you can just figure it out. You know, it ain't rocket science. Just fucking shoot around and shit. And you know, this game isn't rocket science either. But I'm making it seem like rocket science with fucking these like 3 and 4 lined like fucking prattlings and shit. Like it's too much. I should have just explained like the top one and then like used visuals to explain the middle one without the text there. Like maybe just have the numbers on the tiles to like let you know. Put like bombs in the directions or something. Or I don't know, just make that smaller. Whatever. It's not ideal. Definitely wouldn't have made it 2 pages long. Anyway, yeah, it's fucking nonograms again. Although I solved the problem of the adjacent to non-adjacent thing by just like having specific tiles that point in different directions. So you get the blue tiles that point up, down, left, and right. So there is one bomb up or to the right of it. And, you know, the diagonals are not accounted for. That's what the purple ones are for. They point diagonally. So it's the game of deduction, but better. You are given more information or just ways to figure this shit out. See, it's pointing... You know, there's only 2 squares it could be, therefore it's those ones. And you have a question mark and a flag to mark things with. So yeah, really good game. Good sound effects. Was this the first game I made where like I asked people to like make music and shit? No, that was probably Poker. Probably Poker came out before this. Huh? Oh wait, no, that's right. I'm reading that wrong. That came out 2020. This one came out. Why has this got 3 out of 5? This game kicks ass. You guys are stupid. Bombograms. Yeah, no, this definitely came out after probably Poker. Yeah, years later. And I'll only do a few levels of this one. I want to show you something I thought was, or is wicked. I think the dying effect is really cool. Check this out. Yeah, all the bombs like musically appear and then the fucking screen shakes. That shit feels good. Oh yeah, really good tutorialization. I'm teaching you the game 1 step at a time. We don't have any blue tiles this level. It's just the purple ones and the green ones, which point everywhere. So you're learning the rules. Anyway, the music fades out, and a slightly more ramped up variation of it takes over. And that keeps going on until you beat the game. Like, every 2 levels, the song gets like a layer of like intrigue added to it. And I thought that was so fucking cool. You really feel the progression all together now. I like the little titles I made for all the levels. So yeah, you're introduced, or you're made to deal with everything in this level. It's a good one. Wow, it's just like a computer. And yeah, there's like a nightmare mode. You know, it doesn't look different enough. I'm glad I made all the levels like tile setty look different. You know, this one looks like a B because, you know, I think I spell bombograms with all 10 letters, all 10 stages. You know, B for brilliant, and then the next level's like O for oh my god, this shit is so good, or some crap like that. I guess I could just beat the level and show it to you. It's one of those. Oh wait, no, there's none over here. Yeah, this fucking mode's whole thing is that the tiles point to the other side of the screen, not just what they're immediately touching. So this one has to be that and that, because those are the only tiles it's touching. I probably could have come up with some kind of visual, like maybe arrows, like pointing across the screen or something, but like it just looked too busy. I have no doubt I definitely tried to figure that out and it just didn't work. So I just kind of just like left it as is, and you to play the mental game of figuring it out on your own, which, you know, probably worked well enough. I got 2. Yeah, Out of This World, that's a good one. What did I make before bombograms? Well, since you asked, was it Grid Heart? Was it the original version of Grid Heart that I like blocked off the internet because I don't like it anymore? No, this one came out after probably Poker. Yeah, so what did I say? I like making games about like grids in like clickable states where things don't move around and shit. Yeah, so here's another game I ripped off. Luigi's Picture Poker from, you know, Mario 64 DS. You know, I'm like just recreating things I grew up with, right? So I made that. You know, I just, you know, made it, you know, people rip off things all the time. At least I'm making it look good. Like, you know, look at this cute girl and shit. Is this a good tutorial? I think it's arranged better than the one from Bombograms, at least. That one looked too busy. Yeah. All the lines are given, like, a good amount of space. It doesn't look too cluttered. They all have, like, a picture associated with them. Like, the top one has the cards. Each round's deck is randomized and viewable. Yeah, you got, like the bar thing here. So this game's whole thing is that you can get a general idea of what cards you're gonna pull from, so you have to like weigh the odds. Like, okay, I've got like 3 reds right now, and there's like 5 available like from the pool. I might as well go all in, and maybe I'll get at least 1 more red. I did not, but I lost and I killed myself. Yeah, just immediately. Is it okay that I made it so you can just immediately lose the game? I don't know. Fucking. I mean, that's my fault, right? For going all in right away. It was a pretty sure thing, right? Like the red things had the most number, so I don't know. You know, it's a quick little gambling thing. It's a lot simpler than Picture Poker even, because like I removed. No, it's exactly like Picture Poker actually. It's simpler than normal poker because there's only like 6 types of cards. There's not like the suits and then numbers to go along with it, which is just like a nightmare, you know? You're less likely to draw what you want, which I guess is the point. You're not supposed to win card games, you're supposed to give the house money. Or, you know, those are the words of a noob gambler, right? What should we go for? Oh my god, can you not, like, drag your mouse and just fucking click multiples at once? That sucks. I basically remade this game. And you could do that in that game. I'll play that version after this. Yeah, let's see if we can get... Yeah, we got at least one more yellow. Yeah, so you're fighting this cute pink girl, courtesy of Paper Dawn. Yeah, they were always Paper Dawn. Great music, by the way. Was this the first game? Like, yeah, no, this was the first game I, like, talked with people about, like, assets and stuff. It wasn't just me drawing shit, like programmer graphics. Because, like, the first couple games I made, like Bombergrant or Boomboard and stuff, you know, I just, like, drew everything. And, you know, I'm no artist. I'm just, like, a simple, like, Microsoft Paint pencil guy. Here's Numlock. Cute little calculator game where, you know, you got, like, the randomized keyboard, and you've got to get the goal number before time runs out. Yeah. Yeah, like that. I think the aesthetic of this game was inspired by the game over sequences, or those little sprite things in Danganronpa when, like, the culprit has been found, the blackened, if you're playing the dub, has been found. And you get this little 8-bit thing of the character getting, like, carried off into hell or whatever. Yeah, this one's pretty cute. I remember it was for this jam called the T-shirt jam, where, like, if you won, you'd get, like, a shirt based off your game or something. Quite bizarre. There were only 9 entries. What a strange jam. What place did I get? Where's my... Yeah, what place did I get? Were there even like scores and shit? 0 ratings were given. Did they remove them? Like, who fucking won? Like, see the jam page for the results. Oh, okay, here are the winners. I wonder what the shirts looked like. I hope they weren't just that, because that looks kind of lame. Additional finalists, Broken Arcade. Oh, hey, I got an honorable mention. Cool. You know, even if I don't win, I win. So, yeah, Numlock was pretty good. The focus thing, kind of... I feel like... What did this even do? It slowed down the clock, and it showed you, like, what adding 6 to 5 would give you. I think that's just confusing, though. I probably should have just had the slow and not made it do anything visually different, because I don't think anyone understood it. And in the remake of this game, because of course I fucking remade it, it's me, 2024, scrambles your calculator, you know, like unsucks your cock, that kind of shit. Yeah, I made the game again. You can play it on your phone too, which is pretty cool. No one did, but I did it just for the experience of, you know, making a phone game, which was tricky. I wouldn't do it again. I don't know, maybe I will someday. But it was a hassle. Yeah, you got like the vertical orientation and stuff. Add up to the goal number before time runs out. Yeah, this one's got music and shit. There's no slowdown mechanic. Hitting right on your mouse just toggles between add or multiply, so you're more incentivized to, you know, just use it and shit. Multiplying. Because before you had to, like, identify the button and click it. Here you can do both. Yeah, how do we get 13? 6 times 2 is 12, and then plus 1. This was another game I worked with Paper Dawn on. Another, like, just, like, look at how much better this is. Like, duh, right? It'd be fucking cringy if I didn't get better after all these years. This game's got, like, combos and shit. You know, it's a simple little thing, but I made it with the express purpose of being a simple phone thing. Because I wanted just to get a game on the phone. Just to see if I could pull it off. Although I think I did that years earlier with an earlier version of Grid Heart that wasn't very good. What's Grid Heart? Well...
more
Tony on the internet.
games.
Chris jerking it.